Let's get us live. That will help solve that.
All right.
And I will copy the link over.
So we don't know if people signed up, I guess, for today, or you usually get people.
We'll get people anyway. You are getting
That's
people
good.
signing up for your mentor call.
No kidding, really.
At least one. I saw one.
Oh, okay.
So
That's unusual. I will try to do some posts today.
we did one last night, and we're announcing it again today too. So
Cool. We should chime in and you let people know what it's about as well.
yeah. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning, Jerry.
Hey, Debbie.
Hi, Eileen.
Always good to see you or hear you.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you're not going to see me. Miss Megan.
Good morning.
The Studley Trio.
Wow. We should have t-shirts made.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm just tagging on to these two powerful women.
Oh,
This is
you
their
stand
gig.
in your own power, lady.
Thank you.
Most definitely.
Thank you. How's it going, Debbie?
Much better. I'm not sure what happened. The moon moved or something.
Okay. So I created a post kind of announcing what's happening this month, and I thought it was fitting to say how do we show some love to our business this month despite busy.
Yeah, definitely.
So that is the theme of today. Showing some love to your business or the month, I guess. Like that's kind of what we got going on anyway. So okay, so we've got some more people joining, so I'm just waiting for them to make sure everyone sees it and gets in. Good morning, Danny. Good morning, Lonnie.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mika. I don't know if you can hear me yet. Oh, cool. Okay, so I wanted to, maybe I should wait to start announcing what we've got going on. So Megan and I, what prompted this, Megan and I were talking, and, you know, despite busy season and all of those things, our businesses, our marketing efforts, our organization, our, you know, getting those to-do list things done, kind of take back burner during busy season. And we get so hurried, and marketing is the first thing that goes away. Our organization and systems get pushed to the back burner. And so her and I, if you talk to us about marketing, her and I are really big on targeting 300 conversations a month. Like if you're stuck, we're going to tell you to do that. Like go try to do that. Even if it's 100, you might get, you know, like real good conversations. And so, but that often feels like, well, I can't do that because I'm busy or I'm onboarding a client or something like that. And we don't prioritize loving on our business that way. So with that, it was kind of fitting. Abby, one of the coaches in the group yesterday, started a accountability challenge for the month for those that are in the paid group. And when I was reading through what people wanted to be held accountable for, it wasn't necessarily marketing. It was, some people did say, I want to get this many clients this month or one client this month, but it was also like, let me eat well, let me do this and things that, because it's so much more than your business, right? Like your business is only a fraction of your day. And it's often hopefully serving a bigger goal, whether it's, someone told me, I want to do this. So I have time flexibility, so I don't miss out on the last 3 years of my daughter being home, like being still in the house. And when you start getting that tangible, like it's not just time for flexibility, it's time freedom so that I can tangibly do this. Because if you just say time flexibility, right, you have maybe 30 years, maybe, right? Like at any point, we can't take that for granted, but like it just might feel so like, well, I can do that in any time. One day it's going to get there. One day I'm going to have that. And we forget that we could do that now. We can create it now. So in the paid group, that's one of the things happening to love our businesses well this year or this month is the accountability with Abby. So we're just checking in on that thread, as far as I know, the co-working call, things like that. If you're struggling, need an idea, things like that thread is going to be the best place to get that to keep moving forward. Because keep in mind, like if your house is in chaos, if you're not eating well, you're not going outside, your business is not going to thrive. You're going to start feeling like I don't have any energy. I'm not getting any sunlight. And I just realized for my own self, I can not go outside, right? Like I don't drive my kids to school, so they're young. So unless I'm like, and I can force them to go outside, but I might not go outside because, I've got another meeting or something. And I'm like, that could mean something. And we used to go on walks, but then I got busy. So walks, feel like a luxury item. Whereas really they're kind of essential, like getting outside at some point during the day, ideally before 10, right? To get some sunlight is healthy. Like it keeps depression at bay. It keeps, even if it's cold, like all of those things, like get you moving. Fresh air is good, all of those things. So loving yourself, loving your home, all of those things help you love your business well. The next thing, so if you're joining, we're just talking about how to love your business well this month, even despite busy season. Eileen, let me pull this up.
Sherry, it's funny you say that. So I was looking at my memories from last year, like posts that I had made or whatever. And one of them was from today last year. Don't forget to drink water and get sun. You're basically a houseplant with more complicated emotions.
Oh, I remember you posting that. I remember seeing that and I was like, yes, so true. Like how often, like, especially if you're meeting with clients or doing discovery calls or things like that, like you're not going to like you're sitting there. I don't have 10 minutes to go potty, let alone refill a drink, right? Like,
Yep.
There are some days my husband is like master of a drink and he'll like so you'll see him like bring me a drink. Like if you're on a one-to-one with me, he's like, let me refill that. Cause like yesterday I was on calls really all day long. Both, and now the rest of my week frees up. So it's not like that every day. But the way we do my calendar, I can have a day where it's just like back to back client calls, something's happening. But yeah, complicated with more complicated emotions. Yeah. If you're watering your plant more than you're watering yourself. So I wanted to show this to you. This is a free webinar Eileen is doing this month on February 10th. At 10 a.m. That should be easy to remember, Central. And she's gonna go in, actually, Eileen, you're here. Why don't you talk about it?
Sure. Yeah, I'll send over some descriptors also,
Yeah,
because it's,
This is-
people are struggling which way to go. Whether they're brand new to, like the idea of having a bookkeeping business, or whether they're stuck and whether they should invest in themselves, all sorts of questions, and which program, to do, and how to evaluate that. So the purpose of that is to bring you clarity, to really get to the goals that you want, right? And without clarity, you can't get to those goals. It just ain't gonna happen. So that's what the webinar is about. And, there's different kinds of mentorships. People don't realize it, or mentoring, or, where are you going for your information, why you need to be careful, all sorts of things like that. Yeah, I mean, any questions? And by the way, I'm going to add a bonus. I mean, how would everybody like to have confidence in under 2 minutes? That's going to be the bonus material.
This should be good.
I'm going to show you how to do that in this webinar. So definitely you do have to register for it. This is not going to be on the live feed. If you know people who would benefit from it, please send them the link. So we're asking for people's help also to get the word out. Because I think this is important. Megan and Sherry really formed this group because they saw a lot of unethical things going on, I would say. People being taken advantage of, right? So definitely send it to people who can benefit from it, so that they're not going to go down a road that you feel like, that's a mistake. We can't do that personally. That's why we're asking for help. I think that's a subtle hint to some of you here where to send that link.
and
Yeah,
it is free. So it does not cost them anything to join that. Just throwing that out there. Keep going. You're good.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so what, I wanted some feedback on this planned event that we're doing. What do you think? I mean, are we clear in our message? Can we message this a little bit better? Is it valuable? Is it not valuable?
I wish you had done this before a lot of us invested in the wrong type of mentorship. Would have saved us thousands of dollars.
That's part of my goal for next week.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but you know what? You learn. We doing this business, no matter what, you're going to make mistakes. It just is inevitable. And the point is, are you learning from the mistakes and making corrections? Every business owner makes mistakes. I don't care who you are.
No.
I don't care if you're Mark Cuban. I'm sure he can list all the mistakes he's made. And he probably doesn't
he's
see
made a
them.
bunch.
Yeah, he hasn't seen those as mistakes. So, yeah. Cool.
The next thing that's coming up after that, so that's February 10th. Obviously the accountability is going on all month in the membership group, but the e-commerce training, right? So we tailor trainings to what you guys need, and we get them done as quickly as possible. Right. So we add them to a list and we take top priority and just work through them. E-commerce is obviously a huge, it's a huge industry. We're always getting some sort of client that has some sort of POS system. So even if it's not, they might not have a Shopify system, but they have a POS system, this training is still for you. If they're using it, like House Call Pro type items, right? So POS systems or that. And if they're taking fees out of it, we want to know how to capture it. So the coaches brainstormed what would be really helpful around that. So we are going to do the same webinar. It's not really a webinar, but it's a live training. Jara is going to host it. But in that training, she's going to do an hour just overview of e-commerce POS systems. But behind the scenes, coaches are currently recording how to do the other systems, right? So there's Stripe, there's Toast, there's Square. The list can go on. I've pointed out some of them here. They're going to record how to do those platforms for you. So in that training, when we give you resources, we're going to give you resources to all of those videos. In addition to that, we're going to give you, Caitlin's working on just a journal entry template that you can take to, there's always an obscure POS system. So I'm going to do a video on an obscure POS system called Blockchip that my husband's business uses. Well, we don't know all of those. There's thousands of them out there, and it would be impossible for us to record a video on all of them because we don't know. But the basic principle is the same. So using that journal entry template, we're going to do a POS system that's just, this client has this random POS system, and how do you tackle that, right? To give you the skills to say, oh yes, I can confidently take on your POS system or your integration that you have, and know how to talk to a client about having that and how that works with QuickBooks. So this will be packed, super packed. The tentative date is February 24th, another Friday at 10 a.m. Central. Once we get closer, we'll fix that date in place. But I'm pretty sure that's the date that's happening. So I wanted to give you guys that. If you ever have questions on e-commerce or POS systems, we do have lots of coaches that have experience with one of them or another for the most part. So Megan, do you want to add anything to that?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was making a smoothie, so I was listening from afar. Is there a possibility that somebody, or is there anybody specific that's really good with Toast? I have a new Toast client, and the Toast and Square are very weird. Like, you have to go in different places for different things. It's not like cut and dry and simple. So I was just kind of wondering who I have a one-on-one scheduled with Jara on tomorrow to go over a Square reconciliation issue, but I'm curious if there's somebody who's like really good with Toast and who that would be, because I might need to schedule a one-on-one to learn it in general, because I'm not even really sure where to start.
Off the top of my head, I know Sandra is recording the Toast video because she has them, and then Mara.
Okay. And they're doing, are they, when you say they're recording a Toast video, are they making a webinar?
So, sorry, that's what I was just talking about. At the end of February, we are doing a training. So Jara's going to get on and do a training covering POS systems, everything you need to know.
Okay.
Included in that webinar or that training, you're going to get additional training videos.
Okay.
On Toast and Clover, Amazon, Etsy, all of those things. Sandra is doing that video, but she's also great with one-to-ones. So if you just want to say, hey, can you look at this specific problem that I'm having? Especially if you don't want to wait till the 24th, right? Like,
yeah, because I need to get it started soon.
Yeah. So I would recommend Sandra, and I'm pretty sure Mara has Toast.
Okay, awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah, that's a weird platform.
Well, it is. It's like it's credit card statements, which is weird because it's not a credit card. You know what I mean? It's things are a little different, and I'm just trying to figure out how to get started with it. And I don't,
Yep.
not really sure how to start because it's not quite as simple as like PayPal or Venmo. I feel like those two are the easiest I've had to deal with, but maybe it's just my luck. I don't know. Square is a nightmare. I hate it. And Toast so far, I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm not having much luck. So I'm definitely gonna attend your February thing. I might not be able to wait that long to get started on Toast.
Gotcha. That's fair. Yeah. So Sandra, and if you have a link, Danny, right, to purchase a one-to-one, but let me.
Yeah, I just ordered one for tomorrow with Jara, so I can figure out my Square reconciliation. And I thought I was gonna probably request Jara, but I wasn't sure if there was someone else that's specific with Toast. So now I know, Sandra and Maura.
Yeah, good question. For everyone else listening, I'm posting the link on how you purchase a call with a coach. You can purchase them individually. If you're like, I just need one, great. If you know, hey, I'm gonna need a few, we bundled a package of them together so you guys can get a discount on those. And that way you can really dive into the question you're having. And I mean, and those are designed for you on whatever you need. If you need help with mindset, getting over hurdles and whatnot, great. If you need help with quoting, those are great. We can dive into and look at the QuickBooks file with you and help you get a quote. If you need someone to handhold you through how to do a journal entry, something that you're working on, matching a payment to a deposit that's not working, or it's your first time matching a payment to a deposit and it's not, it's not straightforward. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's skill level with QuickBooks is different. We all had to learn QuickBooks ourselves, the coaches, here. When I started, I had previously been introduced to QuickBooks Online and it was awful. Like 10 years ago, it was awful. It's a disaster. So when I started my business, I'm like, desktop is the way to go. And QuickBooks Online had come such a long way. I was like, forget desktop. I will totally use QuickBooks Online, but it was a new software, right? Like I had been using hefty accounting systems like NetSuite, Microsoft Dynamics, and was more familiar with those. So switching to QuickBooks Online was a little bit of a, this feels too easy. Oh, okay, here's how to make it more of an accountant like software for me. It was backwards, but either way, it's still a learning curve. And QuickBooks has some very unique system processes to try to make it easy for the business owner who doesn't know accounting, which means it's also a really good software if you're new to bookkeeping. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys that link. Mainly just making sure you guys have the resources to conquer busy season this year. That's our goal. I was going to say something else. Oh, I did want to let you guys know. So, we're targeting March, but we have checklists and templates and more courses coming in March that won't necessarily be in that training format that we've been doing, but so that you can get in and say, how do I do bookkeeping from start to finish? And then some resources on how to just run your business. So bear with us, that's coming. It's massive, and we're just trying to do a piece at a time to roll that out well for you guys. We don't want to roll something out that's not going to be in your best interest or make it more confusing. To the best of our ability. So, yeah. Okay, so that's what's happening in February. Any questions with that? Is there something you would like to see in the future that's not listed, or that you don't think we have on the list? Or is there anything we can help with today so that you're going into the weekend prepared to conquer whatever is on your to-do list?
I have questions.
Yep.
As always. So I my new client, they paid me. They haven't signed their engagement letter, but they paid me. So that's step one.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So we're both brands. I feel like we're both little babies in this process. So I'm trying to guide her through, but I kind of feel like I'm guiding her through with my blind eyes. So any tips and support would be much appreciated. But my biggest question is gathering like her bank information and her login information. What's the best method for collecting that?
So they should be giving you, and I saw your message, I was just responding. Depending on the bank, they can either go online and set you up as a user, an accountant user, or they can call the bank and set you up as an accountant read-only user. I prefer that over getting a client's login because I do not want access to their money.
Right. No, and I don't want access to that either. I was just trying to figure out.
And so then the bank should send you like sometimes they have to give you a username and password, like they'll get it from the bank, they'll give it to you. If they're doing that, I typically get them on the phone. I don't know. Megan, how do you get password? Most often I'm getting like emails for me to go through and set up the like Wells Fargo, Chase, Amex, things like that. Or they'll text me like different portions of it. Now they can upload it into Liscio or Keeper. They can like send you a secure message with it.
Okay. All right. We'll kind of burn through and figure out that piece. And then for the POS systems, how do you manage that one?
Same thing. They should be, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I just want to make sure that we get her set up correctly. And then I know she's potentially doing 2 QuickBooks subscriptions. And so we'll be having some, I know I'll be in a coaching calls trying to figure out the chart of accounts component since I
busy
want to
partnering
make
with
sure I
and
don't miss
serving our
anything there.
clients and community in real life. Our network has been faithful to referrals, and you are each a part of our success story.
So yes.
With the POS system, they might have to add you as like a user. So you'll still have like that might look different.
Is there, okay, so maybe there's like an invitation so she can invite me to that too.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask.
You might be able to Google that specific POS system and
Okay.
see what the steps are. And I would just let her know, hey, everyone, every bank is different, so I'll work with you through it. That's,
Okay.
yeah. Last time I had someone set me up in Wells Fargo, they can do it online, but she got my name wrong and did some other, like my first name wrong and like some things. And it didn't work. And she got frustrated and I was like, you have to call them like, and have them fix it. I think we were somehow I called them. And because I called them and they couldn't verify me, they deleted everything. And so I was like, great, you can try again. So I do think she actually went back online and got it fixed. But sometimes I get added without a hitch. Other times I get added and there's every hitch in the book. Like,
Okay.
and I don't know how to solve that unless I like preemptively figured out how to document every process for banks.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think it'd be easiest if she could just invite me, because then that will have its own email directed at me and then I can go in and set that up.
Yeah.
Without having to worry about password protection issues.
I think Chase, they have to give you that they can go in online and set you up, but they have to set your username and then they have to just tell you your username. So you'll get an invite email and then you'll need that username that they created to give it to get in.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, this will be my project next week to tackle.
Yep.
Once I finish my other projects.
And what I sometimes do, or my favorite part of my process, what I prefer to do is have them go give me all the access that they can possibly figure out how to do.
Okay.
After that's done, Then I direct them to schedule an onboarding call. So I have a link that gets sent to them with the engagement letter that says, once you're done with this, schedule an onboarding call. Then on that onboarding call, I go through those things. Typically what happens is, like with the Wells Fargo, when we got on that onboarding call, it still wasn't working. So we tried briefly on the onboarding call. She went away to fix it, thought it was done. And it still took another week or so to get it straightened out. But the onboarding call for me is a great way for me to make sure that they have access to the portal. They know where to upload stuff, and that they got as far as they could on all of the access. And then I help them while I'm there. Like, because you can sit there and say, okay, let's go to Chase and figure out how to, or like, you still need to call them. And they can sometimes take care of that, especially if you end the call early. Well, they already had maybe an hour scheduled, and it only took 30 minutes to check off, okay, you still need to do these 3 things. In that 30 minutes remaining, they could go do those 3 things for you, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
Yeah,
they were
no.
already committed to an hour. So,
yeah,
and
she's.
sometimes I will just mute myself and let them do the call, like right there,
Mhm.
depending
Okay.
on personality and what's up. Like, I am totally willing to sit there and wait for you to figure out what you need to do. Like, but it is
Okay.
partially on them.
Yeah, no, she's ready to go. So I'm just trying to give her little baby steps. I'm like, okay, well, let's target connecting your banks to the QuickBooks subscription first. If that's easy. And then we'll keep working on building from there.
Some banks will let you. No, never mind. I've had a couple of banks let me use my login, but they have like weird security issues. Most banks will not let you use your accountant login to connect because they have to like approve the security on it.
Okay.
So yeah. So yes, have her connect. That's a good onboarding step there.
Yeah, I'm like, I know how to do that. That's easy. So I'm trying to, like I said, giving her baby steps, trying to give myself baby steps. Doc, right now I have a love-hate relationship with it already, but I'm gonna try to work through it.
Okay. Megan, you've used PandaDoc. What's going on, Lacey, with PandaDoc?
Well, so I have the free PandaDoc right now. So I set up my engagement letter. I got the signatures in there. Sent it to her. She hasn't viewed it yet. So today I sent her a link to the PandaDoc so that she can do it. So that one seemed to go through fine. But then today I tried to send myself a test one. Every time I click send, it said, sign up for the free trial subscription to send this. And I was like, I shouldn't.
Were you
Yeah.
logged in?
Yes. Yeah, because I'm like, the free version has the e-signature, which is ultimately all I need for this. And I wasn't able to connect the payment side because the bank's screen on it wouldn't load, so I could put in any banking information. So I just did the invoice through QuickBooks for that.
Yeah, I don't use PandaDoc to collect payments. I just send like my engagement letter, my ACH agreement, and then I collect it through QuickBooks. I process it there. I used the paid version of PandaDoc. I didn't know there was a free version when I signed up, apparently, and there is. I know Elise uses the free version all the time, and she's never had any issues with it, she said. But now that I've signed up for a paid version, I can't seem to find the free version at all.
Yeah,
So-
I just thought it was bizarre because the first one I sent it, no problem. I was able to resend it today, no problem. But then when I tried to upload another document and send it to myself, it wouldn't let me. And I'm like, this makes me angry. So, because I know I'm gonna have another engagement letter to take care of for my other client that I'm probably gonna start on next week as well. So that's why I'm like, no more people come my way for right now until I get these two sorted out. And I'm thinking I may have to find an alternate method. Thankfully, she's local and I can just walk it to her if I need to. So it won't be an issue.
Well, and you can always, in the very beginning of my business, I did not have PandaDoc. I didn't have any of those things. I took a picture of it. I mean, I sent them a PDF in the email. I told them about an app, TurboScan, They print it out, they
Okay.
sign it, you take a picture of it on TurboScan with your phone and they send it back. That I did that for the longest time before I ever got PandaDoc.
I might look into that.
My
Cause
very
I-
first one, I sent a PDF.
Yeah. Don't feel like you have to go bring it to them. Don't feel like you have to. Yeah, it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be pretty. You just need the information.
I just,
When I
I just need a
started-
signature to start. That's all I need.
Yeah. A wet signature works. When I started, I didn't even have my LLC created. My first client actually paid for my LLC. Because again, I started as an experiment. And so he was like, oh, I'll pay for it. And he did. His lawyer set it all up and everything. And he went through Upwork, so I didn't have to do an engagement letter at first.
Mhm.
My second one, I had to do a PDF. And how did I collect? I sent him an invoice I just sent him an invoice through QuickBooks and had him pay it that way. So I didn't even do an ACH.
Yeah, I haven't set up.
Far from setup. It wasn't even a thing. Like, I didn't even
Yeah.
know her back office at that point. So
Yeah, I haven't set up any draft payments. I told both of these girls, I said, hey, until I know what all your work entails, we'll talk after I get your cleanups caught up, timeline done, and then we'll talk about what monthly would look like / quarterly, whatever. Because honestly, some of them, this one may be a little more work than I think it's going to be, but yeah, and they're both very open to that, so that makes me feel good.
yay, congrats. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm just really excited to get the square piece off my shoulder. Because I was like, I got to get this done first. And my goal was Friday and I got it done last night. So
Good job.
You're early. Ahead of schedule.
Yes.
So you
Yeah,
can do some extra Facebook posting.
that's my other dilemma. That Canva it's not my forte. at all.
I didn't have Canva when I started.
Me
Okay.
neither. I don't do Canva. I still don't do Canva. I have people, I pay somebody to do it for me. I don't do Canva.
Yeah, I want to get to that level because Canva drives me nuts. My other
But you don't
goals-
have to, just know you don't have to have the pretty pictures. You don't have to, like, I literally screenshotted pictures and like, that's what I would post if I would attach a picture to my post on Facebook. It was nothing with my logo. None of that. It was just whatever I could find.
Yeah, I overthink things. So looking for stuff, I'll spend hours to find what I want.
Now you have the pretty backgrounds in Facebook. Those actually, I have really good results with those. Let me share something. This might help someone else too.
Yeah, because I'm more of a black and white, simple kind of person, but yet you want something a little more visually appealing so people will look at it.
So if you go to this 5-day marketing challenge,
Yeah,
this is free, guys. So you can create an account, you can go into this, you can get into it. On Zoom course. You're gonna get like a download. So this is yours to edit. Once it's downloaded, you can do whatever you want with it. There's things to do. You'll put the date and it will auto-populate. So I'm just viewing it. That's okay. So you can change it, and this gives you some ideas on what to do in the order to do it, and so that you can get some engagement. This is talking about the framework of this challenge and posting on Facebook. I gave you some direct message examples should you want to try it and see if it works for you, but it's really good for those lost touch connections, the old college roommate that you lost connection with, an acquaintance you met, and then some follow-up. So it doesn't have to be a cold message, right, to someone you don't know. Reviving those acquaintances or forgotten friends are good. But these posts are actually examples of mine. This image right here is from Facebook. So I did a background and the text. This actually got better engagement than some of my others for the time period that it had gotten when I screenshotted this.
Mhm.
That's fine because Facebook is like, okay, you're using our stuff and the text is in the photo, like it's a post. So if someone were to search chart of accounts or QuickBooks help or whatever you're talking about, they would find your post. Whereas in Canva, like this image I have up right now for CB, like for the moms group that says
Mhm.
this, you can't search any of this.
Great.
You can only search what I posted in the post, right? And then long form posts, I know not everyone likes them. I strangely get really good engagement on those. This is another background. That was an engagement starter. It had 37 comments in a short amount of time. A review post, bold text at the top, and I give you some links on how to do it. So this is pretty. This is eye-catching. This is going to make you stop and read it.
Yeah, I definitely need that because I didn't know how to do the bold text.
Right. So, and then emojis. I showed you how to do emojis into it.
I'm trying.
So you don't need Canva, right? And this
Right.
is all free. This is
Yeah.
just free. In this 5-day challenge, if you haven't done it and you're looking for like just a quick start, anyone listening, to boost your marketing or your marketing right now, but you want to boost it a little bit, this challenge would be a really good way to go. This 20% close math is kind of what you can start targeting if you know how many clients you want, what you need to target to like achieve in that month. The other thing we really like about this challenge is the CRM. So we did a very manual CRM because again, you don't have to pay for stuff to start your business at the beginning, like, and not even from a money mindset thing. There's just not cash, right? Like my business cash flowed 100% of the expenses. Outside of what I initially spent to get Upwork started, which was less than $50. And I took it back out. Like, so I made my business cash flow every expense. So I'm not opposed to spending money, but let's spend money. Let's make the business pay for it. And here I did, it's got 300 lines because we want to talk to 300 people. Real conversations, right? Not just, I'm going to casually get your business card. Let's make a conversation happen. So that could be messages on Facebook, Alignable, or maybe it's someone you sent a message to, but you have their information and you want to follow up. So maybe it's, you're going to go compose a list of 300 CPAs in your local area. And you're going to find them on Facebook. You're going to follow them on LinkedIn. Like you're going to stalk them without being creeper. You're going to get to know them. Like, and have some conversations with them. And that might be messaging them, cold message to them. On Alignable, I will connect with someone and send a message to. Chelsea does, she'll do like a friend request. They'll accept her invite. She'll say hi, like have a light conversation. If they don't respond, day 2, she just follows up. Day 3, it's, hey, I just want you to know that I do this. It's not salesy, it's not pushy. She's just making sure everyone she connects with knows what she does. And that works really well for her.
Have you done an Alignable webinar yet?
Like attended one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually attended one a couple of weeks ago, made a connection in Tucson. So I attended one in Albuquerque. It was local to me, and I'm really trying to connect with some local people. He was an ambassador, an Alignable ambassador. We got on a call. His referral partners are bookkeepers. We hit it off. And it's a great partnership actually already. So absolutely, I would attend. So I haven't attended like how to do Alignable ones, but I have attended like some of the other events on there.
Do we have any, has coaches or moms done Have you done like a thing for a group on Alignable?
No, Kristen has gotten clients from Alignable. I can't yet say that I've gotten clients. I've gotten 2 referral partners though.
I mean like a how to.
No,
Can we add that to our list of trainings?
we can add it until I get a client from it. I feel
Well,
like
I'm just curious because there's one girl, I mean, she seems to be really sweet. I don't know her well, but she connected me to other people in my local area that are health and wellness. And I was like, okay, well, that's nice. So I didn't know if, because I know it's kind of passive marketing.
Yep.
But if we can have like a quick little training on it.
Yep,
Because
I
I
will
know I need
add
to
it to
update my
the list.
profile.
right now before I forget. Anything else I should add to the list? While we're talking about it. So Alignable. And what's the goal with that, Lacey, is how to use it well or how to get clients from it or?
Right now, I'm just trying to network and find the different businesses. And I basically told the one connection today, I'm interested in learning more about her business and that I'm looking forward to learning about her business so I can better serve my current bookkeeping clients that I'm working with in the health and wellness industry. So kind of taking it a passive side of it, not trying to poach her and say, hey, I want you as a business partner because I don't know her. She's kind of a cool contact, but just trying to develop that relationship for networking. And so if they know of somebody else looking for bookkeeping, that maybe I might be a good fit or someone to connect with. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And Crystal's saying that she has some experience with it. Yeah, and I think it is really good because so I've had someone ask me for prices that we connected on this week. He asked me, so we've been chatting for about a month now on Alignable, plus a CPA connection who's referring me clients and another business development guy who is actually referring me clients. And what I'm doing with Alignable, my goal is and I'm going to apply this 300 challenge to it when Megan and I do the challenge together. Is I want 10 verticals giving me leads. So 10, so a CP, not 10 CPAs, but 10 like different industries is my goal with Alignable right now. But it's just a goal. Like I've only got 2 now, so I don't know. But I put on the list, Kristen has gotten clients from Alignable too, so I'll talk to her about it. And then they do have ambassadors that you could reach out to. And then they always have education and trainings on Alignable on how to do it well. And then Crystal is saying that she's talking through potential with a 6,000 cleanup and 350 monthly ongoing that she found on Alignable. So actually, Crystal, do you want to chime in and tell us what you're doing on Alignable?
Yeah, I'm on my phone. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
So they actually, I will tell you, there's a lady that they have on that works for Alignable that does a lot of trainings on how to set up your profile and how her name is Sue. And I think if you go to like, I have to look at what it is, but if you connect with me on Alignable, I will show you where she's at. I just don't have any connects right now. So if you're on there and you have connects available, connect with me. If not, just connect with me on the side and I'll get the information on her. But I went to some different networking Zoom meetings in different groups because you can join groups, and I joined a couple of groups and they have different like Zoom meetings. It's kind of like with Facebook, they have events, but it's better than Facebook.
Yeah, it's like a Facebook hybrid to like actual networking.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's all about networking and it's not spammy and any of that. But the way I came across that potential client, it was kind of weird. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time because he posted on Alignable that he needed help getting his books ready for taxes. He hasn't done 2021. And so he needs 2 years worth of work on, and he has a bookkeeper. And I got on a call with him yesterday because when I saw his message, I responded to it and I said, hey, I'm a QuickBooks Pro advisor. I'd love to chat with you about what your needs are. And so we got on a phone call yesterday. He got me logged into his QuickBooks so I could look at it. And I don't know what that his bookkeeper's been doing other than payroll, which doesn't cost what she's been charging him, but his books are a hot mess. And I told him, I said, I don't know what you're paying her for because she's not doing her job. And then he paid somebody else like $1,500 for a cleanup and they did nothing. And I'm like, well, because $1,500 is not enough for your cleanup, they probably quoted it without looking at it. But I mean, after our conversation, he was like, well, I'm all for it, but I got to go talk to the partners and see if I can find the money. Cause he like lives in Vermont and installs windows. So right now he's got no business. I mean, his whole company had a layoff in the month of December because I was like, what happened to your payroll in December? He said, we had a layoff. I'm like, oh, okay. And so, but I mean, and it was just because I happened to see that message when he posted it, because I happened to be on Alignable at the time. And then like yesterday, I noted, and this was like a couple days ago when he posted that. And then yesterday, after I actually talked to him on the phone, I noticed there was like 10 or 15 other people that posted behind me. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But yeah, they do have a lot of good, they have that lady Sue does a lot of trainings on how to set up your profile on Alignable and how to connect with people and who to connect with and different things like that. So,
Okay.
oh, it looks like I have connects now. They must have updated my stuff.
Yeah, it's a new month.
Yeah. Well, I looked at it yesterday and it wasn't updated. So now I have connects. Yay, I can go connect with some people. I've been waiting a whole month for that. I don't
sent you a
pay for it
message.
yet. I don't pay for it yet. And so I only get 10 connects a month. So I plan to pay for it eventually, but I'm just like trying to save my dollars until I get more business, just because now I'm working part-time at my job. So I have to have more money for living expenses. But she does a great job teaching how to use Alignable. And I
Okay.
think her website is like learnwithsue.com, and it takes you through Alignable to her trainings on Alignable, but she's got recorded trainings and then she does trainings often. So, and I like her. She's really, really fun. So if you have any other questions, feel free to connect with me, message me. We can get on the phone or wherever you want, if you want to pick my brain about it.
Yeah, I'm still, like I said, I'm like a baby to that too. I added my LinkedIn, which I have like 30 connections there, and you get maxed out there as well, how many people you can invite to your profile. So I'm like, I think I'm open back up to add to that. But Alignable is still kind of the sea of the unknown for me. So that's very helpful. I'm sure I'll be reaching out. And I have
I will
connects,
warn
but I gotta
you.
figure out how to do it.
I will warn you, with Alignable, you get flooded with emails. Because when you get on Alignable, anything that you are connected with, if there's a message, or like if you're in a group and a message gets put in, it goes through your email. You just have to you just have to know you're going to get a bunch of emails that you're going to just need to delete. Mostly.
You can auto filter them too, and then check it so that you're not missing messages from people. Real quick, I know we only have a few minutes left, but maybe we focus on Alignable with that challenge, Megan, that 300 challenge. The mentorship training with Eileen is free. I just reposted the link in the chat. So if you're looking to attend that, do register so that you get updates and you get access to that Zoom link. So you'll need to log in, click on the Zoom link to join on February 10th, because it won't be live in Moms. It's a private group, so you guys can ask questions, or private training Zoom link. So you guys can pick Eileen's brain and really start to find what you should be looking for, even if it's not our group. I'm really confident in saying
Exactly.
that because it's about you. It's not about us. It's about your business, your goals, and what you need to do. And we just don't want you to, we don't want to see you spend another year in a program. Obviously ours is monthly. You have a year option and not do anything with it. We want you to reach your goals, whatever that looks like for you. So, and obviously, you know, these calls are limited and things like that. So we obviously really believe in the support calls. That's kind of the foundation of what we created here, because we know that those that are getting the one-to-one individual training are moving farther faster. They're filling in their holes that's unique to them, because we all bring our own unique experiences into it. So we just, our biggest thing is we want you to be plugged into a community that can help you grow. Me, Megan, the other coaches, we're all in a community. We have our own chat. We're talking about our own bookkeeping issues and like, hey, can you get into the Zoom with, like, I'm having trouble with the Zoom for a student, like, or whatnot. So we're growing too, and you'll see us post questions if we're stuck on like something with Square that's new, or QuickBooks just changed something. We're posting that in the CB4S group too, the paid group, because it is a community. Bookkeeping's ever evolving. Software changes weekly, daily. Yesterday changed twice. That's how it feels some days. Or, you know, 1099 software is glitching. There was an interesting thing with Philadelphia this year that the coaches were like really wrestling through. Or Pennsylvania, not
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, like P, wrong P. But the coaches like all had this issue. They were like chatting with it. So we're sharing that in the paid group too. So, because it's just real life. Software is weird. So it's, I don't know, there's always a software issue. So anyway,
I have something I'd like to chime in if I can. So in the paid group, because I do feel like there is a lot more support there. Is there a way that if you get newbies, maybe I'm the only one in that boat, but to have like a once a week newbie support group that meets for 30 minutes, basically just to talk about some of maybe the challenges that we're facing and that kind of thing, because it was hard for me to kind of wrap my brain around, here's this paid group and all these people have people and I don't know if there's need
So
for
I
that
did-
or if
I-
that's just a me thing.
I'm going to write it down so that we can talk about it, because that's a good question. But that really is what the co-working call is for.
Right.
And I think you would be surprised at how many people are on that call that don't have clients too.
Yeah, there's several people in the group that don't have a client yet.
Or
They've
just have
joined,
one.
just starting. Yeah, just starting.
And that is where you can ask questions, because some of the other coaches do jump. I mean, right now, some of the other coaches do join in. So if you're
Yeah.
stuck on something, they should be able to chime in and say, here's what I do. And the benefit of that is they've learned by experience. So even if we put it into a course on how to do it, which we are, nothing's going to beat that real life experience. Right? Because if we put it into a course, it's more textbook, like, here's what we hope you see. Right? But our clients aren't always what we hope to see. And so when you get in, Bonnie's really good at processes and procedures and boundaries. Abby's really, like, everyone has a strength, so they can chime in and problem solve the question you're facing right now, like that week. So I did a poll in the group to see how many people, and we're still trying to, I think we're going to just do the 300 challenge again. But I'm going to make the note to Lacey to see. Calls are just hard, because I know Megan and I, when we have searched for coaching programs for ourselves or like attended masterminds, Megan's been in inner circles and masterminds herself too. I have been myself. When there's so many calls, it gets overwhelming. Like her and I were even looking at a course. I'm like, there's so many calls. I don't have time for that. Like, I'm like, how? And it feels overwhelming. And then you're going to show up to nothing.
Yeah.
And that's our biggest fear with adding more calls, is encouraging you to stay stuck in overwhelm. Not just you, like someone in general.
No, I understand. I just think sometimes it's nice to hear from someone and just kind of have that support network of those people that are all kind of ground zero trying to figure out, okay, here's what I'm doing that's working well. Maybe they have something else that's working great for them that's just trying to get jump started and going. And because I feel like sometimes it's like over my head.
But isn't that what the co-working call is for? Like the co-working call was designed to be a water cooler call.
Okay.
So that if there are 5 newbies on the call, right? You guys can overtake the call and say, hey, we need to discuss this,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
I'm stuck here. I need to get over this week, right? Hey, Sandra, I really need help with this.
Okay.
Like, I guess that's my hope for that call, because you do have
Okay.
Sandra and Chelsea and Bonnie all market differently, right?
Mhm.
So, and because they own their bookkeeping businesses too, it's what's working for them could work for you. Or you can phrase it with, when you were just getting started and you didn't have anyone on Facebook, what did work for you? Remind them. When you had no
Yeah.
following, not what's working for you today, what worked for you month 1,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, I think that's good, because oftentimes when I get on there, I can't jump on right when they start sometimes, depending on my pickup schedule. And I try to stay on topic with what they're discussing so it doesn't get totally shifted and twisted in different directions, and then everybody's lost. So I'll just change my mindset on that. And
Yeah, that's what it's for. It's supposed to be
Okay.
50 questions or whatever y'all had,
Okay.
It's not supposed to be one specific topic, whatever everybody has. And a lot of times, Lacey, you're very good at asking questions and like hopping in. Like, I think if you start, there's probably other newbies that either maybe on the call or maybe they're watching live or whatever, and they're going to start joining in as well, because they see like, hey, I can ask these questions on there.
And they'll have the same questions.
Exactly.
There are people who are afraid to speak up,
Yep.
but I guarantee if you speak up, 10 other people have the same question.
And I promise I won't ever ask that. I ask some stupid questions sometimes, but you guys have been great at giving me a friendly response.
No such thing as a stupid question.
There really isn't.
Exactly.
And the people that are in that group, this community isn't attracting people who don't want to take initiative and move forward. So then there's not a stupid question, right? So you can have a coaching program. You can get into a bookkeeping community where you have individuals who are asking the same thing that they should have learned year 1. And I'm talking like, we're going to teach you how to reconcile cash or the checking account. And they're still stuck there because they haven't fully taken ownership of their own business. You're not that, and the people in the group aren't that, because they would not have the incentive to stay in the group, right? Because they're not going to grow. So they're not going to stay in the group. So there really is no stupid question. If it's keeping you stuck, it's a valid question. If you have the question to grow your own business, you have the right to take ownership of that and get it answered. 100, yeah, it is everything. Like, if you need it answered, ask. Like, I don't know. I'm hung up on that because I know like individuals who will stay stuck, and then year 3, it's like, oh, you should have just asked. I could have helped you with that. And they handicap their business by not asking. So don't do that.
And it doesn't matter how many times you have to ask the same question. either until
If it's
you
a legitimate
grasp it.
question, it's a legitimate question. Even if you ask a coach the same question 5 times, at the end of the day, once it clicks, you'll have it forever. But until it clicks, we're not explaining it well enough to you. So if you ask a coach a question 5 times, ask another coach or say, hey, I'm not getting it. You're going to have to explain this to me differently. It's not making sense. Try again. And we'll, yeah. So, okay, there's my soapbox now. Sorry, Lacey.
Thank you. That's okay. Thank you.
Hashtag triggered. So, but yeah, I know that there's always like, oh, that's a really stupid question. Like it can feel that way. Like, I don't know. I think about when you say that though, like when I was having, like, I had 3 children really close together. So in one sense, my midwife was like, you got this, you know everything. And I'm like, no, I don't, because it's only been 2 years and 3 children. I'm like, I far from know everything. Like, I have a question. I'm like, this is a stupid question, but please answer it because it's my question today. And I had pregnancy brain. So like, I'm like, there's no stupid question. And I think some of them were stupid questions, but it was the question I had at that time. So it wasn't stupid. Like I really needed an answer. So because I had to take ownership of my pregnancy, right? It was my body. I was having to take care of it. If I need to do better, I have to ask the question. So, yeah. I don't know. Okay. And I think we're out of time. I always go over on these calls. I like talking to you guys. But Megan, anything else to add? I reposted the link to the mentorship web training with Eileen. And then as we get closer, probably right after the mentorship, we'll start registering. Maybe we'll go ahead and create the link. You guys can start registering for the e-commerce training as well.
Yeah, and DM that free link to you-know-who people. Because we really want to put the word out and grow the group.
We should put a target on it, on how many people we want to get that in the hands of. And then
That'd be great.
And what do we do if we hit that target?
Yeah. The position we're in, just so you know, we cannot DM people, but you guys can. So anyway, if you can, that'd be great.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends that I would like to join in that eventually I would like to have on my team. One more thing, ladies, that I want to share with you. I don't know if there's any guys on the call, but I did pull a Shopify bookkeeping blueprint from the Veronica Wasik page, and it's free. And it's actually really, really good because it talks about how to do those journal entries and things like that too. So if anybody's looking for another resource that's paper to help with that e-commerce piece, I think it would be a good add-on.
Yep. And keep in mind the e-commerce training that we're doing has the journal entries, all of the training, Shopify, Amazon, Etsy. They're going to be recorded videos of actually doing it. So you guys keep that in mind as you are wrestling through those. And then the coaches are always available. I do one-to-ones. Megan does one-to-ones. So Bonnie, Jara, all of the 15 coaches. We do even have a male coach. He did not, he's with the kids today too. So if you know any guys who want to join the group, there is a male coach. He does really good with business development, mindset type things, but he's very much business. So if you're stuck in the business or know of a guy who needs to join, he has bookkeeping. I've trained him. He does some of my clients too. So, you know, spouse and all. He did a cleanup last night for me in like an hour. I probably could have done it quicker, but he did it. He did it. I was putting kids to bed and he got it done. So, Just wanting to throw that out there. Okay, well, I will see you guys Monday on the quoting call. So if you're registered for
Thank you.
that. Bye, guys.